Hello Odoo users, it's Eleanor from Cluedo here, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create an automatic invoice template. This is so useful if you have recurring invoices as it saves time in generating and actioning those invoices every time you want to send a new one. So let's get clued into Cluedo. First of all, make sure you've downloaded the application called Invoice Automation. When that's all locked and loaded, head into your sales application. Click Configuration up the top here, and you'll see a new field has been added called Invoice Automation Template. Click on that, and we have the opportunity to create a new invoice automation template. Now here you'll see there are two options, down payment and regular. Use regular if you are invoicing a set amount for a set product every month, for example. And use down payment if the situation with your client revolves more around a certain payment up front and then a second, third or fourth payment later down the line. I'll use down payment for my example because it's slightly more complicated. So let's title this and add our necessary lines. I will say that on day one, on the first day of the sale, down payment amount of 30% needs to be paid. Then 15 days after, a second down payment of 20% will need to be paid. And finally, at 30 days, the final payment of the remaining 50%. That brings our total nicely up to 100. So I will save that template up. With that all saved and ready to go, let's head back into our sales orders. And click on a quotation, for example, this one here with Azure Interior. You can see a new field has been added here called Invoice Automation Template. Unsurprisingly, this is where we can add our Invoice Automation Template. I'm going to add my down payment test and put just a couple extra products in. Now you'll have seen when I clicked to add my down payment automation template, a new field has been added down below called Invoice Automation. This brings up all of the information that I put into my test down payment template, but also allows me to change it if needed depending on the specifics of this order. So at the moment, for example, the first invoice date is set for today. If I need to, I could change that. However, I'm quite happy with that. And similarly, the percentages I can also change. If, for example, I just wanted 20% at first, but 30% on my second down payment, that's easily doable. So I will save that up and confirm the sale. Now, as noted, invoices will be generated on each of these days at some point during the day. However, in the interest of walkthrough speed, I'll manually run the invoice that's due today so we can see what that looks like. To do that, I'll hop over into my scheduled actions, search for my action name, and click to run manually. Now again, you won't need to do this when the module is downloaded in your own Odoo database. I'm only running it now in line with my example. Now if I head back into sales and have a look at my recently confirmed sales order, you can see one invoice has been generated and that this invoice is for a down payment of 20% as we specified in our template. Now, as mentioned before, with this template, we have 2 down payments and 1 final payment. And you might be thinking, what if, owing to complications, the agreement is not met and not delivered, yet the final payment is still invoiced for? If it is the case that an invoice is sent despite the agreement not being delivered, a credit note will be supplied. And that is your invoice automation template using down payment. As mentioned before, it's also possible to do this with regular payments, and this works in much a similar way. The only difference is, as you saw earlier, you can change the regularity, but whenever that invoice date falls, the full amount will be invoiced for. So, with that, you're all clued up. Thank you for watching, and see you soon on Cluedo.com.